zone.
You go into a completely new space, and you come back, and for however, it may be short-lived, depending on, how long you've been gone, or how,
it's like a meditative state.
How intent, exactly. Very meditative, or how intense you were in that other mental space. When you come back with the fresh perspective, a new, essentially a set of rejuvenated eyes, rejuvenated heart, rejuvenated mind. So that definitely allows you more grace, in the present tense.
Yeah, it sounds like creating is a form of self-care, basically.
Definitely.
And so for anybody who is interested in creating a book or doing an anthology, what words of advice do you have for that person?
I would tell that person to be very, I would say, proactive, rather than reactive. I say proactive as in, planning accordingly, making sure that you take the time to create a quality piece of work for yourself and also the people involved. I would also tell that person to, if when you're making the anthology collection, to make the collection a very specific one. So for example, I've seen some where it's just wives poetry,
okay,
or mothers poetry. So when you're putting together an anthology, you're giving the reader a particular lens that they may not have had before. So if I read the anthology of a mother's poetry, I'm then put in a place throughout the course of the book. I'm in a zone that I've never been in before, which is the world of a mother. And you want your readers to come out with a new understanding of what group they're reading about. So I would tell them, to have a very, specific group that they're giving the reader a lens to, look through. Because that helps. It doesn't do everything, but it helps, create greater intimacy and understanding between, a group that you may not have had any understanding about before.
Right.
This is essentially one of the reasons that I chose, words from Black hands, to give people a lens that otherwise they may not have had see through.
And so how has working in publishing affected how you create? Has it changed anything, clarified anything?
It has changed, not dramatically, but it has changed in that now when I approach new creative tasks, I do so with a lot more confidence, being that I was able to continually manifest these things over time.
Okay.
So with and which I believe to be partly natural, when we achieve these artistic goals, these creative goals successfully, we move forward with much greater confidence that we can do something of the like again. So now, I would say the way that it's changed, as I approach new goals and new, again, artistic tasks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go in with the mindset that I can't do this. Those negative thoughts are much less. The voices of doubt, concern, things alike. They're a lot more quiet at this point.
Can't wait to be there. Yeah. Do you currently have your book with you?
I do.
Would you read us a passage of one of the poems?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, take your time.
Which one? So in the Words from Black Hands, there are 9. In the first volume, there are 9 writers.
Mm-hmm.
We got 9 writers. Like I said, 4 of them are female, and 5 of them are female. I'm sorry, and 4 are male.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna read one. Let me see. That one. Okay. So this poem in particular that I wrote, it's called The Maintenance of Harmony.
Okay.
And this is how it goes. And the A note explained to the C note. We disagree, but that's quite fine. We disagree at any given time. We disagree beyond this room. We disagree like dust and brooms. We disagree quite naturally. If not, that means we'd have to be playing the same sound all day long, and that make for some tired ass songs. So that was the maintenance of harmony. And my voice is it's early, so my voice is not all
you
that
good. Don't worry, I'm still like half asleep, so
yeah. But that was the maintenance of harmony. So that was essentially they were saying we disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Harmony, what music teaches us is that so let's take a piano, for example. When you play a C chord, I think that consists of what A, and I don't want to get this wrong, but it consists of 3 different tones.
Okay.
And none of those tones are the same, but still they exist in harmony.
Mm.
So you have 3 different notes that when you play them, they create a pleasant sound, which we know is harmony.
Mm-hmm.
In order to maintain harmony, there has to be difference in a sense. So in other words, if you play a C chord and it was all the same tone, it wouldn't really be harmony. It would be uniformity.
Right.
More so than harmony. So I wrote that in particular to bring attention to the fact that differences among people are not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. In fact, in order to maintain harmony, they are necessary.
Right.
We have to learn to work with people who are different from us at times in our lives. And out of that comes harmony. If everybody was the same, there'll be no harmony.
Right. I love that. Thank you for sharing that passage.
Oh, yes, it's no problem. No problem.
I've really enjoyed this conversation. Let the people know where to find the book, where to find you, maybe to stay abreast to what you got going on next.
Oh, yes. So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Julian Edmonds.
Okay. And I'll have that in the show notes.
Yeah, Julian Edmonds. And on Instagram is Julian Marquez _
Okay.
Also, for the book, you can purchase the book at wfbh.squarespace.com. That's words from Black Hands .squarespace.com.
And do you have any new projects coming focused on this one? What's next for Julian?
Well, there is a volume 2 for Words from Black Hands that is in progress right now. Plan to have multiple volumes, so 2, 10, 15.
All right.
But so right now I'm focusing on volume 2. And also I have to have some I'm an instructor as well.
Okay.
So I teach different classes and seminars on a number of different things, really. So you can also find my classes, and I have one coming up next week, actually. You can find those on the website as well. And so as we, go through with the classes, you can go to the website and purchase the videos there and take the classes yourself.
What is the exact date and subject of that course?
Well, the one I'm doing next week is how to improve relationships using principles and rules of poetry.
Oh.
Yeah. Since it's on communication, communication is one of the pillars that a relationship is built on. So it's important that we know how to do that. And with poetry, the communication is the way that poets communicate with the readers. We use certain rules and principles and methods to communicate as effectively and as clearly as possible.
Right.
And that's important when you are conducting and want to maintain a romantic relationship and unromantic relationships. So relationships with your family members, friends, business partners. These communication skills are very crucial to relationships. So that's what the class will be on.
That sounds really dope and profound.
I expect it to be very nice. I do.
And will that's online or in person or a little bit of both?
Well, I'll be hosting the class in building.
Okay.
In Columbus, in Columbus, Georgia. But the video will be available on the website.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Julian, thank you for your time. This has been
definitely
really, really cool.
Thank you.
I'm happy you sent me that email and we got this together.
Yeah.
So I will work on editing this and let me see if I can do it for either next Monday or it would be the following.
Okay.
So that way, it's Black History. We might as well have Black art and products and things available.
I like that idea.
So, and I would definitely like to keep, in touch with you. And so I'll be stalking your social media and all of that. But it's been a pleasure.
Definitely. I've enjoyed speaking to you as well.
Thank you. So Anchor and I have been kicking it for as long as Creatively Exposed has been alive, which September. And I am amazed at how easy it is to record an episode, edit an episode when on the go, either on my phone or in my laptop, and I'm getting paid for it. I get this sponsorship, and I don't need to have